Hey guys, it's Matt C here. Sorry about that. If you joined this earlier, I was going through my campaign and accidentally doxed something. So we're going to try this again. So this is part one of what I learned from crowdfunding my comic. So yeah, so let's kind of go back. I know what to click now. So basically I wanted to show you, this is going to be a multi-part thing. But my part one, let's see, it's going to be perks report. That's going to be the thing I want to click. Yeah, so one of the things I had to do as a weird kind of creator that had a style that people don't consider American, don't consider normal, and a subject matter people don't consider normal. Those are three very big problems for selling comics to Americans. Which is kind of a side tangent. I thought I could get a lot of European backing from this, which I think was naive because I have, I'm just the hours of the day in America are different than the hours in the day in Europe. I'm not interacting, I'm not physically getting to know personally Europeans, and in any event I have to charge them more in shipping, so there's always going to be an uphill battle selling anything outside of domestic. So understanding your domestic market first is pretty darn key, I think, if you're going to do this long term. If you're going to sell any more than one book, you got to know your domestic market. So this is something I tried to do, was and you can see I went nuts, and a couple of these were mistakes that I accidentally sold a couple through and then had to hide. And yeah, that's a lot, right? But there's a lot of repeats. So basically I had second book $5 off options, second book with art $5 off options. I did art bundles, that's two kind of larger works of art, and book plus original art, that was one kind of smaller original drawing I did. Let's turn the music. It's a little weird. There's a signed book tier. This is all originally what it was. Just regular book, signed book, art plus drawing, art plus two large drawings, small retailer bundle, and a large retailer bundle, and various attempts I did to do that, to get that right. And basically the reason I did that is because I could focus. I knew I could just spend the course of the getting the campaign, between funding and getting the campaign, getting the books printed and sent to me and then sent out to backers. I had time to produce original art, and I could do that for free, but that would be adding value to people's backing, right? Especially I raised, so you can see I raised just under $6,000, which is kind of enough to do the print. It's enough to do the printing, but it's not really enough. It's definitely not enough to do anything other than by myself. Everything has to be done by yourself, unless you got people doing things for free for you for $6,000. And that includes all bonus content or perks and stuff like that, and stretch goal stuff too, for the most part. Though I was able to pay map maker extraordinaire Stephen Hesselman to do this wonderful map. We were able to meet that goal, thankfully. I also got a spot cost cover, and that was it. That's what $7,000 got us, and we had some nice fan art that I was able to print in there. Yeah, but other than that, I had to do book design, and that's why it took me about a year of taking notes and another 6 months of preparing, figuring out, how do I do ISBN, what sort of books do I want to emulate, what sort of campaigns do I want to emulate, watching these campaigns over months, fulfill, seeing successes and failures in that respect, and trying to kind of I mean that that takes a while to watch things and to learn from them. So basically, I did a lot of tiers, as you could see, but they were all kind of different. Let's see. So another way to explain this, so the first week, I think it was, maybe it was the first 5 days, there was a special tier. All the tiers were special, and that meant that you would get $8 off shipping, which meant free for domestic, $8 off international. That saved a lot of people who were following the campaign early, and these are all obviously tactics to get people to come in early, which is really key, especially with Indiegogo. In order for your campaign to be successful at all, it needs to be it needs to have some kind of momentum early on, first few days. And so rewarding people who come in early with reduced shipping helps with that. This is kind of like a sidebar thing, but something I did encounter was as the campaign gained momentum, especially over 6 months of sitting in demand while getting this actually printed and sent to the printer, printed, sent back to me, sent out to people. That took enough time for a lot more people to know about the campaign, and I made about $1,000 more over that period, but a lot of people know about it now, and it's kind of the downside, I guess, of doing a lot of these reward perks, is that you have to give people free. You have to reward people early, and then people who may like your content as much or more, who find out about it later, don't get to jump in. That's just kind of how things go. I suppose all kind of incentives like this leave some people out, which is unfortunate, but I guess if it included everyone, it's almost not an incentive, or if it's an incentive, I don't know. See, I'm trying to negotiate that, because I like to see people get special things, but at the same time I recognize that there's a real value to getting something exactly like you've seen everyone else get it. That's a reliability that people do appreciate, and it's something I appreciate. So but basically I did some tricks like that. That's kind of all I was going to talk about tonight for part 1, but I did reduce shipping for 5 days, turned off all those perks, copied them, turned on new ones that had shipping added after that point. I did, oh yeah, and then one more, I actually upgraded everyone's, this is why a lot of those perks were duplicated in there. By the end of the actual, of this whole waiting until the books arrive period, which is kind of when the campaign was live and people could get additional stuff. I mean, that is when it was live, and when I was treating it like it was live because there were multiple things. I did do like a week of, there's like a Cyber Monday week where I was doing some cheaper options, and got a couple sales from that. But what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. I had to upgrade. I decided, because I was a month-ish late, a little bit more than a month, due to shipping hassles and going back and forth with the printer. I was expecting November, and we got it about a week ago, at the beginning. It was like January 3rd or 4th or something, and so I had to upgrade. I upgraded everyone, and I reflected that in the tiers for the time being, which meant turning off all the existing tiers and turning on new tiers. that had the correct price, and so upgrading meant everyone got, and this is just what you have to do, because honestly people don't read updates, and they don't follow your Twitter very much, and even if they do, they're not going to see the stuff unless they're following you very closely, and you shouldn't expect that they would. I don't follow anyone I back that closely, so I wouldn't expect them to follow me that closely. The book, the $20 book, I upgraded to be signed with a drawing in it for the course of the campaign, which ends tonight. $25 got you, which normally was going to be a signature, that got you an original drawing. Actually, I think that was, I was just signing, it was like 5, no, I think, yeah, I think that's what it was. I got you the original drawing tier for $25, and then I think it was 60, got you large artwork, but the large artwork also came with small artwork as well. And then the if you bought the 2 large artwork deal, I threw in at least 1 small artwork as well. I basically doubled everything. There was a lot of original art going out to people, so it's you know, it's drawings I spent some time on, and colored ink marker on gray paper so I could put highlights in white on it, and it was pretty cool stuff. It seems like a lot of people appreciate that. That was good, and yeah, but not everyone got the same thing, which can be nice, but not even everyone got original art, because I was giving it to everyone who was backing at the $25 tier, right? So, but that's just what happens, right? I think maybe in the future I need to find a way to reward so that even people who come in at the $20 level are getting a lot of nice stuff. People, and we'll go into this in probably the next part, not this one, but I did some bookmark shenanigans and postcard shenanigans, and a lot of people got those. People were getting those more than they were getting original artwork, but not everyone got the same amount for the most part, and that's, given that most people weren't paying attention to the updates or the details of who got what when, I'm gonna guess that some people were pleasantly surprised and had no idea they were getting anything other than the book, and I'm gonna guess that some people might have seen some stuff on social media where people got a lot. Maybe they got 2 bookmarks for postcards, and maybe they opened their book and they got 1 bookmark and no postcards, or 2. That depends on when they came in. If they came in on week 1, if they came in on day 1, if they signed up for the pre-launch campaign. All this I was trying to be very explicit about, but I realized that the reach was I probably communicated that effectively to about 5 to 10% of people. They also had to share on social media. It was basically trying to reward, not trying to punish anyone for doing anything. I'm pretty staunchly opposed to punishing backers, but just trying to reward people for when they do come in, and if they come in early, those sort of things help, you know. So that's just kind of the ways I tried to help people out, show my genuine appreciation for their backing this campaign. Gosh, you know one thing? Putting these numbers, I numbered the pages. It's a graphic novel, and I like, most comics don't do this, because I think because it's a hassle. There's no reason not to do this, but putting page numbers on the bottom of the page is a hassle, and it's nice to see it there. I like to see it there. It's a graphic novel. Treat it like a book. Put a page on it. If you know you're dealing with at least 120 pages. I think this was a 128 page book. I should know. I paid for it. You guys paid for it, actually. You guys paid for it all. But yeah, putting those down was a pain, and I actually went through multiple iterations of trying to figure out how to put those down. I'm glad I figured that out now, because book 2 is going to be a lot easier. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy this. I'm gonna be doing more part videos like this in the future, just to kind of, you know, vlog my thoughts. Maybe I return to this years later and laugh about how ignorant I was through this process. I'm still kind of, you know, mentally, emotionally recovering from this 6-month marathon of getting this actually to everybody and making sure they all like it. Getting really positive responses. The most I've seen is that some people they thought the product, the physical product, was very nice. Let's see the physical product. The quality of the books were very high. Themselves, like the physical product. You can see it's soft cover. It's rather thick, paper interior and exterior. Can't really see the spot gloss there, but you know, some people were like, I'm not quite sure what's happening on the cover, which is fine to me. Maybe it's got to be a little more clear. I have book 2 is going to be the cover is similar, but a little more clear, perhaps. It's and also I had to kind of reread a couple things because of the style is so unusual. People weren't used to, and probably pages like this, honestly, that are a little collagey. Let's get to the, which I can understand. I think I've done a better job with book 2 of paneling, so I'm not too worried about that. Everyone seems to like the story, which is good. That's the main thing I'm worried about is, are you happy that people like the colors? No one seems to think that there's a downside to the art, which is good. And my paneling has improved, so that's encouraging. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. So I guess we'll wrap it up now. I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, no, that'll be another parter. There's a lot. There's a lot I learned over the course of this campaign, so I better stop it now. But basically, what I learned was there's upsides and downsides to making a lot of different perks that are available at certain times early in the campaign or during Black Friday week, or I did some hidden tiers for particular people who wanted to back for particular reasons, like buying some extra things in bulk and I could get them reduced shipping. Knowing how to copy and paste your perk is important. You can do that right now if you want. You know what, I'll show that in another one because I'm not sure how to do it right now. I haven't done it in a little bit. Yeah, but yeah, we'll talk about that another time. But thanks for checking this video out. We'll do, I don't know, I'm feeling 3 or 4 of these is gonna be what it's gonna take to get everything down. Yeah, I think you guys deserve a 3 or 4 parter on crowdfunding. I mean, how to crowdfund. I mean, that takes, you're gonna have to listen to 100 hours of different people talking about their approaches. I can tell you what I learned, which is specific to me. I can't tell you how to crowdfund because it takes too long, but I can tell you my unique approach, and I can get that down in a relatively efficient amount of time, about 4 of these, 15 minutes each. So yeah, thanks for checking this out, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks, bye.